It's Thursday, July 11th, and you're listening to the Geek at Geek News Central, the longest continuous running tech podcast. This is show number 874, sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com. Our July GoDaddy special, customers get 32% off. 32% off on your order at GoDaddy.com. Use the promo code GO32OFF1 or get a .com for $2.49 by using the promo code GEEK249. Geek News Central is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. You know what comes next. Strap in. Here it comes.
All right, people, I need a go, no-go for the Geek News Central podcast. Digital archive recorders.
We're GoFly.
Microphones.
We're GoFly.
Video feed.
Go.
Web browser.
Go.
RSS data stream aggregator.
GoFly.
Interflux Toddism suppressor.
All right. I'm confused.
Host readiness check.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
The Geek News Central podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go. Cue Todd in
5,
Button, who's got the button?
4,
There's no cause for alarm.
3,
Everybody hold on to something.
2,
Just press the button.
1.
Aloha and welcome to Geek News Central, coming to you as live as it can be from the beautiful state of Hawaii via the Geek News Central studio overlooking Greater Honolulu. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Todd Cochran. Of course, we want to welcome all of the Ohana, all the longtime listeners and viewers of the show. Thanks for being here. If you're brand new, hey, you've come to the place. You've come to place for tech. We're going to talk a lot of tech news tonight, get you all caught up on what's going on in space. Do this show twice a week, every Monday and Thursday night. And glad to be here in Honolulu. We're back for a while. Not going to be moving around too much. So I'm excited about that. So definitely get snuggled in here and relaxed and grab a cup of coffee or whatever your beverage of choice is at the moment. And we'll get started in the tech content here in just a few short minutes. Well, I want to give everyone a chance, though, to make sure that you come over to the website at geeknewscentral.com. Check out all the great content on the website, and really, getting subscribed to the show is the way to go. And you can find the RSS feed on the second column of the website. And, of course, there's a newsletter link there as well. That gets you hooked up so that you'll never miss a single episode as I send out show notes immediately following the show that contains all the links to all the content I'm going to talk about tonight. And, of course, all of our show note links are at gncshow.notes.com/874 for this specific episode, or just gncshow.notes.com. You can watch this show on the Tech Podcast channel on the Roku, Boxee, Samsung Smart TV, Google TV. Really, we're on every piece of glass known to man. So don't fret. You can find the show almost any place. If you can't find it someplace, let us know, and we'll get it hooked up. Hey, want to make sure that you know how to reach out as well. That's real easy to do. All you got to do is on Twitter, at Geek News. Email address here is geeknews@gmail.com. And our hotline is available at 619-342-7365. But the most important thing is to get subscribed to the show. That way you'll automatically get it synced to your Basically, you can listen to it streaming. You can download it, listen to it on an airplane, in the gym, on a run, in the car, on the bus, on the train, in Antarctica, on the high desert, wherever you may be, wherever you be listening or watching, you can get this show. Don't forget, all those places are fully accessible, as long as you have an internet connection to subscribe to the show. Hey, of course, Tech Podcast Network is our family network, and 140-plus family-safe shows over there. That's something we pride in, is where you can have the kids listen to the content. You're not going to have to worry about their ears getting burned off. So definitely and have the kids definitely check out the shows over at techpodcast.com. We're back up on the stream tonight. They called live stream, and they were fast. Within about 15 minutes, they said, "Oops, our bad. You're good." So we're up on the stream tonight. Everything's going good. I think on the new media show this coming Saturday, we're going to go ahead, and I think I'm finally caught up and going to be able to do the YouTube event. So we'll keep our fingers crossed if everything goes good there. Hey, just so you know, this show really has, a lot of I've had a lot of sponsors over the years, but GoDaddy has been our continuous sponsor here since July of 2005. And in order to pay the bills, keep the lights on, really, we need you to step up and support all of the things that we're doing with GoDaddy, all the special discounts that we have available. July, we've got really 3 fantastic deals. I talked about 2 of them here just a few minutes ago, but $249 for one new transfer or .com for the first year. Again, for one new or transferred.com, use that promo code GEEK249, or 32% your order, 32% off your order at GoDaddy.com, promo code GO32OFF1, or you get one new .com with a free year of private registration. See details, promo code FREE2. It's $4. You get a free that private registration normally is quite a bit more, but all these deals can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. That's the place to get access to all of these codes. And there's really the one there for everybody. You'll see the GoDaddy link right on the main page. Just click on that. That'll bring you into the website. And hosting codes, percentage off codes, cashback codes, you name it, SSL certificate codes. Those $12.99 SSL certificates, you can't get those any cheaper anywhere else. So definitely thank GoDaddy for being a sponsor here. Hook it up, get signed up, create an account, get in hosting it online, you start your own podcast, start your own blog. And if you really have no desire to manage something, they have these great sites over there. You can just go through and pick your template, go through and walk, called Website Builder. It's real easy to use. But I'll be honest with you, their standard hosting accounts have such an interface that all you have to do is just click a button, fill in a few things, a password, and basically a username, an admin, a password, and really you can get started. It's really not that difficult to set up a WordPress blog. You can pick from one of thousands of free templates that are available on WordPress, also some over at GoDaddy as well. So definitely check them out. And again, thanks GoDaddy for being a sponsor here. We hope that you will take care of them as much as they take care of me here, and definitely appreciate it. So hey everyone, aloha and welcome to the show. Got a great lineup for you tonight. The last couple of weeks, and it's all about full disclosure here, right? And we've had intimate, deep conversations before, but the last couple of weeks, I've been in this, I guess I want to call it a funk. It's almost like, I sit down, I get to work, and after about, 45 minutes, I need to get up, move around. And it's like I'm restless, and I don't know what it is. And I spent a few days away from the office trying to just kind of relax, thinking maybe I just needed a break. And really, it's not that. I came in here last night, and I had some bills to pay and some accounting to do, and boom, it's 6 hours later, I'm good, So I don't know what it is. You get it, and it's very odd for me. Usually I am like dialed in, 100% focused. I know what my tasks are. I've got this list. It's like, it's on like Donkey Kong, right? And just last couple of weeks just been weird. It's been driving me, and I've got this new term that I've been using, and it's not safe for the show, but it's, people have heard this before. It's 8 beep crazy. It's driving me nuts. It really, really is. And talk with my wife about it. Tomorrow we're going to the beach. I'm going to sit and play with the kids, leaving all devices at the house. Going to try to just completely tomorrow disconnect from technology and not worry about everything. And maybe that's part of it too, running a business, making payroll, all the stuff that goes on. And when we're in this, rush, push world, it just, sometimes maybe it's too much. But anyway, hopefully to kind of get out of this funk, be good. The show is like the thing I look forward to doing. I'm like, man, I'm glad I'm going to get behind them. And I was, talking with my wife. She says, maybe you need to do more shows. And I'm like, ugh, that's, family time, business time. Because, the business time is separate from the podcast time. And I said, I don't think that's oh, geez, it just scared the crap out of me. My daughter had some printed papers that she put on top of the printer, and the windows open, and a gust of wind came in, and the papers just went. And did you see my eyes get wide? Those of you that were watching, it was funny. But anyway, I don't know. It's just this weird funk. But don't worry, we're all good. Like I said, the show is kind of like the place where I get to kind of talk and vent, and there's really no secrets here between me and you. We share a lot. I've been sitting on a big secret, though. I'll be honest with you, I've been sitting on a big secret for about a month. I told you we had signed a very, very big deal, and the customer is taking possession of their product Monday. We're ready to launch. Angela has done a remarkable job adding a bunch of features. So really, my sole task on Saturday is, after I do the new media show, which will be starting at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, is that I've got to get the press release, draft it up, send over to Kathy, let her do the cut on it, send the press release to the client. The client may take a few days. They're that big, and they are big. They are one of the biggest podcast networks. They are huge. Like you can probably almost guess from that standpoint, but they're using one of our products. And we're really jazzed to have them on board. Lots of, and maybe I'll talk about it. Can I talk about it Monday? I hope so, because to me, it's really exciting. But anyway, long story short, that's behind us, and we're moving on to some real cool stuff over at Raw Voice, and I'm really excited. I'm kind of antsy about getting onto that stuff too. So hopefully we'll have some big announcements here in the next month or so. But anyway, beach tomorrow. And today, at the end of the show, I'm going to splice in the insider video. So this was my first, basically my first impressions of Glass. That basically 15 minutes after I walked out of the Google complex and hit record, you'll get to see that video at the end of this show. So once I say aloha at the end, don't stop. You're going to get about another 8 minutes, okay? 8 to 12 minutes, something like that. A video of me driving, and just, get ready to cringe for one specific incident within the first couple of minutes of the discussion. But anyway, long story short, that's what's going on here, and look forward to getting into the tech here. But hey, this month we really need your help. I'm serious. This is important. If you've been a long-time listener of the show, this would be the month. If you can come in and become an insider, would really, really, really help. We're usually with 2 sponsors pretty much all the time, and with one sponsor this month, it makes a little bit of a challenge, So this show is dependent upon revenue to keep things moving, keep my lights on, allow me to do what I do. So we hope that you'll come in as an insider this month and throw us a donation. If a one-time donation, that's fine, or come in on a $2, $5, $10, $25 a month plan, whatever you feel is worthy, what I'm worthy of. And value for value, I put together a lot of content for you. And on a regular basis, I think you'll know that I'm one of the most consistent guys in the podcasting space. But let's go ahead and one thing I do want to show you is a map here. And this map, those of you that are listening, what I'm showing now is the Ingress map, the tactical map here in Hawaii. And had just a small amount of time to play the game this week. It's been nice to be able to get out and walk, and it's a great exercise for me to get out and move around a little bit. But the blue is the side I'm on, the green, which we refer to the frogs, that's theirs, and this is what Honolulu looks like. And you can see down in Waikiki, it's just this, all over their right-hand bottom of the screen, it's just this green blob, and they really do a good job controlling, and we're going to have to continue to step our game up to kick their butts, for a better word. So anyway, Ingress, I'm still going on, having a lot of fun with it. Okay, so let me go ahead here and boom, boom, boom. Let me go ahead and load up the what I have for comments tonight. Let me close. I'm using Feedly. They're the ones that have been the most reliable so far, and I don't know why. I'm getting wind through the studio, but not very much over here on me. The angle must be a little odd. So no big deal. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the summer. I know that some of you are out doing things because we always see the traditional, just a little bit of a dip in the audience through the summertime. So we're going to get back. I hope next show we'll start doing the giveaways again. I got this pile over here that basically has all the stuff that I need to give away, and there's a lot of it to give away. So I'll have that done. And also, I got one light I need to hang here. We're going to try to change the motif just a little bit in the background. And that background, we hope, is going to change. We've been working on getting something changed on that for a year. But I think I'm home long enough now maybe to make that happen. So keep our fingers crossed. Okay, so let's go ahead and tap into what's hot, what's new, what's fresh in the world of tech and science. And we're going to start off with a science article. Over on the Daily Galaxy, they got a mock-up of what they're calling the image of the day. This is not a real image. This is obviously just some artist rendering. But the cool thing here, really what's going on with this announcement is astronomers are making visible light observations with NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, and they deduced the actual color of a planet orbiting another star 63 light years away, HD 189733b. The planet is one of the closest exoplanets that can be seen crossing the face of its star, and it's got a blue/purple. Basically, that's the color of it. And I guess it'd be cool to have a purple sky. It's really kind of blue, but it's also a little bit purple at the same time. So they say that on the turbulent alien world, and this is really makes for a great place to visit. The daytime temperature is nearly 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And it possibly rains glass sideways and howling 4,500 mile-per-hour winds. The cobalt blue color comes not from reflection of a tropical ocean as it does on Earth, but rather a hazy blowtorch atmosphere containing high clouds laced with silicate particles. Silicate condensing in the heat could form very small drops of glass that scatter blue light more than red. So think about that. Glass flying sideways at 4,500 miles per hour. That sounds to me like a place I don't want to be. There is some absolutely amazing, violent worlds out there. We just have our imaginations can't even get there to know what these planets look like. So, not a place we would call home at that 2,000 degree temperature, average temperature. But also another thing that's going on in space, it's being speculated, hypothesized, that there are 30 supernovas per second in the universe. Now, you know what a supernova is. That's when a star goes really boom in a big way. And you do not want to be anywhere in the vicinity of one of these things that goes boom, because it just takes everything. I mean, it's like the ultimate nuclear superfusion explosion. But when these things go, it's crazy. Now, they say while there's on average only one supernova per galaxy per century, there's something on the order of 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe. I like how they say observable. Taking 10 billion years for the age of the universe, it's actually 13.7, but stars didn't form for the first few hundred million. Dr. Richard Muschatsky of NASA's Goddard Space Flight derived a figure of 1 billion supernova per year, or 30 supernova per second in the observable universe. Okay. Interesting. Well, if there's that many stars going boom, wouldn't we run out of stars pretty soon? That's pretty incredible. That's really an incredible number. If you think, if they got their math right here, it's like this thing is just popping all over the place. And you don't want to be a deep space explorer landing in the wrong galaxy when the thing is ready to go supernova, because you'll get squashed. So But that is an interesting move, interesting comment or hypothesis. But anyway, long story short here, lots of violent activity in space. Glass flying at 4,500 miles per hour and 30 supernovas per second. All right, switching gears here. Let's talk about a little bit about spying. U.S. firms have drawn a bead on Chinese cyber spies. The U.S. government has, according to the Wall Street Journal, given American internet providers addresses linked to suspected Chinese hackers as part of a previously undisclosed effort aimed at blocking cyber spying. Wow. So I guess the U.S. government's doing a little sharing of some of this data they're collecting. Of course, we know in February, Washington and Beijing heatedly talked about each other hacking one another. Kind of an interesting move that the U.S. government shared this information with private industry. So interesting move there by apparently by the U.S. government, according to the Wall Street Journal. Any of you ever had in the previous years gotten a subscription to PC World? I think I did for a number of years before the internet really took off. But PC World has exited the print era. And so basically, no more PC World being printed. It's all going to be a digital magazine. And quite frankly, I'm kind of surprised that they still were printing. Now, I was in a Barnes & Noble's last week for the first time in a long time. And I walked over to the magazine rack. And I don't even really buy magazines anymore. I get most of my stuff on, I think, at Zinio or something like that. And most of the magazines were like really topic focused. Basic how-to books, a lot of how-to magazines are focus type, real tightly focused niche magazines. But I was shocked at the number of magazines still being printed. We do not subscribe to magazines here at all at this household. We do everything digital, and then what we do get, we have usually got from the library, and it may be several months old. My wife will drag some stuff home from time to time that they've got out in a rack that they're giving away. But anyway, kind of cool. Now, moving back here to a topic that has been making the news lately. Microsoft, it's been revealed that Microsoft handed the NSA a lot of stuff. Secret files show scale of Silicon Valley cooperation on Prism. Outlook.com encryption unlocked even before official launch. Skype worked to enable Prism collection of videos, and company says it's illegally compelled to comply. This is according to The Guardian. The Guardian has, and of course, I don't think they showed anything. But anyway, they have a long expose telling what Microsoft was giving up. But Microsoft has come back and made an interesting statement today. They said, in response to an article in Guardian on July 11th, Microsoft has issued the following statement. Microsoft says, and I quote, "We have clear principles which guide the response across our entire company to government demands for customer information for both law enforcement and national security issues. First, we take our commitment to our customers and to compliance with the applicable law very seriously. So we provide customer data only in response to legal processes. Second, our compliance team examines all demands very closely, and we reject them if we believe they aren't valid. Third, we only ever comply with orders about specific accounts or identifiers, and we would not respond to the kind of blanket orders discussed in the press over the past few weeks. As the volume documented in our most recent disclosure clearly illustrates. To be clear, Microsoft does not provide any government with blanket or direct access to SkyDrive, Outlook.com, Skype, or any Microsoft product. Finally, when we upgrade or update products, legal obligations may in some circumstances require that we maintain the ability to provide information response to a law enforcement or national security request. There are aspects of this debate that we wish we were able to discuss more freely. That's why we've argued for additional transparency that would help everyone understand and debate these important issues." So in other words, they can't say anything more than they have already said, as would be expected. So interesting response, very ready. You can tell that they had this ready to go. But I don't think any of us are surprised at all with any of the revelations or, accusations or speculations that are coming out. And I'm not going to speculate. We'll just kind of talk about as it is, it's being reported and companies' responses. And I'll let you guys form your own opinion on this and do with the information as you wish. But in more news coming out of Microsoft today as well, of course, Microsoft made a major restructuring announcement this morning. Basically, the company aligns to enable innovation at greater speed and efficiency. Of course, Microsoft's a pretty big monster. But Steve Ballmer said to all employees, he said, today we are announcing a far-reaching realignment of the company that will enable us to innovate with greater speed, efficiency, and capability in a fast-changing world. So what they've done is they've realigned a whole bunch of departments. So and I'm going to just go through them real quick on how they've reorganized. They've got an operating system engineering group. They've got a device and studios engineering group, application and services. I'm not going to say this again, engineering group, cloud and enterprise, dynamics, advanced strategy and research group, marketing group, COO, business development and evangelism group, which is kind of an interesting move. They have a whole group on evangelism and business development, which is separate from marketing. Finance group, legal and corporate affairs group, HR group, and then, of course, they talk about some people are leaving the company, probably been that are retiring or asked to leave. We don't quite know. But really what it shows here is Microsoft is understanding here that they're embracing consumerization. And, Microsoft really it represents this big, huge enterprise company that makes enterprise software. They know they need to be part of a consumerization that's really happening in the space. And, if you look at what Apple has done in the consumerization of their product, this is big, and it's a big transformation. Now, they are betting on hardware in a big, big way. They understand the tie-in, how things need to be really put together. Really, they're probably going to be copying the Apple model and the Google model to, they've done this with the, Windows Phone and so forth. But so they're only referencing first-party devices. So they're saying on their first-party device, their family include a full spectrum of both partner and first-party devices, including phones, tablets, PCs, 2-in-1s, TV-attached devices, and other devices to be imagined and developed. So I need to bring some big thinkers in, but we'll get Rob's take on this on the new media show on Saturday and what this means for all of us. But anyway, these types of changes takes probably more than a year to implement, but we'll see if this makes Microsoft a little more nimble in the quote-unquote business world. Google Groups. Well, some Japanese didn't know some of the settings on Google Groups. So apparently government email has been using Google Groups to do mailing lists, and some of those were very open. Staff at the Environmental Ministry, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism Ministry, Tourism Ministry, Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries Ministry, and Reconstruction Agency all seem to have leaked basically all their emails, and that's pretty incredible. They've been out for Google to index them, and I was asking my wife about it tonight. She hadn't heard about it, so maybe she will get a chance to take a peek. Hey, you know something? I got something going on my PC that's freaking me out. I have run virus. I have run malware checks. I have looked for hung applications. I have done just about everything I can. I can't find nothing wrong, no viruses, nothing's coming up. Everything's good. But on my mouse pointer, I'm getting about every so often, I get the little blue spin job on it. And this machine can be sitting here with nothing running, with all the browsers, everything shut down, just the minimal stuff I load, and I get that little blue, and it's got me bugged in a big, big way. Have you ever seen that? And then, the first thing I think is malware, right? So I was digging deep, run 2 or 3 different programs, didn't find nothing. So, it's got me bugged so bad that this machine is days are numbered. If I can't trust the machine, I think it might be compromised. I was going to pay some bills last night, and I was like, yeah, we won't pay any bills on that machine. disconnected it from the internet, used my Mac to log in and pay my bills, and then logged on my banking account. So I'm a little bit antsy on this thing, and I have no clue what it's doing, but it's just every once in a while it's sitting there spinning right, and it may be just a process that's going on that maybe I just need to start deinstalling a bunch of software, the latest stuff, but it's got me weirded, and it's doing it right now. So if someone's watching, hey, how you doing? I'm a big Navy fan, retired Navy. Did 24 years in the Navy. Got a lot of friends that are still in the Navy. Matter of fact, for all the DOD civilians, tomorrow's your first furlough day. Feeling you. Understand it. Understand what happens when you take a 20% pay cut. It's not pretty. So for all those federal DOD employees that are affected by sequestration, the furlough that are off tomorrow, my sympathies for you for sure. But the Navy has landed the robot stealth fighter on a carrier, the very first carrier landing by a remote control vehicle, a UAV, or whatever this thing is called. And I'm just going to spend a second on this because I know this is a little bit off from stuff I normally talk about. But having so many years flying, and again, I ran equipment in the back of the airplane. I wasn't up in the cockpit. I was in the back doing what I did. But eyeballs and a neck that swivels is so valuable in the battle space. You can look around, and no sensor can move their head as fast as a human head, moving around, adjusting a body to look for a threat, to acquire something, change directions, and act upon it. That's the mechanics. It really, really is. So they're going to be flying this robot stealth fighter off a carrier, unmanned. Now, if I was just let's talk about this for a second. So when countries engage each other, there is always the understanding that people are going to die, right? War, people die when there's engagement. But if you are some rogue little country and you know that a robot stealth fighter is flying off your coast or doing operations, you could probably shoot that thing down with impunity. And, basically, there's 100 different ways you could take one of these down, and they may not even know that you did. So the question really, really is, do you guys feel comfortable having our country being protected with a bunch of robots flying off an aircraft carrier? To me, I think it's insanity. And the Navy is betting big on these things. And, so this thing made a carrot, cat, and trap. And this was big. And this is going to take for a while. But I just don't know about this. I really, really don't. But that's what they've cooked up. That's what they're spending our taxpayer dollars on. I just think you can't take the man out of the loop. That's my personal opinion. And I really think that to take the man out of the loop is, and there's a guy going to be on a monitor somewhere in some trailer, some air-conditioned trailer, drinking an iced tea. Do you want that guy being a fighter pilot? No, I want some guy that's been at the gym lifting weights and can handle an 8G turn, and come out of that bad boy, focus on a target, and pull a trigger. That's what I want. And I don't think, this thing is obviously going to have some maneuverability to it, but just the heads up. Someone's on your six. Are you going to be able to really see that? Are you going to effectively defend against that? I don't know. And it makes me just go, just quite a little bit. But anyway, they did it. So first carrier base arrested landing by a drone. Just kills me. Really does. I guess I'm too old school. All right, moving on here. Hey, if you got a Flickr account, boy, oh boy, I've got had a pay account. I have a pro account. And actually, I upgraded to the new thing. It's not ad free. Put ads all over my stuff, and Thomas Hawks talks about this as well. I got to find a new home for pictures. I do. I don't want. If I pay for something, I don't want to have advertising on the page. I really don't. Now, with all this basic stuff going on here lately, with those 3-letter agencies taking information from all of the tech companies, people are looking at alternative search engines. A couple that have been reviewed recently is DuckDuckGo. never been to the site, but DuckDuckGo is one of the sites, and it's basically a nutrition site. So it's got a very baby focused format. And then another one is Blekko, BLEKKO.com, and it does a lot of global traffic as well. So anyway, there's a couple of sites for you to look at. And do you have a great alternate search engine you're using that's not from really the big three, Yahoo, Microsoft, Bing, and Google? What are you using out there, okay? All right, Canadian Space Agency testing satellite-saving robot arms. And one thing the Canadians and, of course, our good friends up north have done is they're really good at building robotic arms for the International Space Station, for the Space Shuttle, and a variety of other platforms. And they're working on a new arm to be able to grab satellites and either rescue them or use it to chuck them. So they're working on some new stuff, but the Canadians are good at this, and they're pretty amazing what they're being able to build. So I have the link up in the show notes for you to check out. All right, hey, you got a couple iPads laying around? You looking to upgrade? Got an iPad 2, or how about an iPad 3? A Best Buy for Saturday and Sunday, it's going to give you $200. So they're offering you a $200 gift card for iPad trade-ins. So again, this is only for trade-in for an iPad 2 and third generation iPad models, and you have to use the gift card to buy another a tablet. Okay, so just be aware of that. I think they've just given me the $200. I'll use it for whatever I want. And but anyway, that's an announcement that was over on appleinsider.com, and to definitely get over there, and if you got some stuff to turn in, please do. I got 2 iPad 2s here, and my wife and I were talking about it. We're going to go check out the full details of the deal. All right, HP, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And I had to talk to Andy McCaskey about this because Andy's been covering a lot of HP Enterprise stuff. And but for the second time in a month, Hewlett-Packard has been forced to admit it built secret backdoors into its enterprise storage products. The admission in a security bulletin on July 9th confirms reports from the blogger Technion, who flagged the security issue from HP's Store Once system, and basically found some backdoors, and they even had to admit that they were there and make those units are vulnerable. Crazy. How much more of this stuff we're going to see. Talking about security-wise, Winthrop University in South Carolina, and if I pronounce that incorrectly for any of the alma maters that listen to the show, I apologize, but they're testing out iris scanning technology. They're scanning all their freshmen during freshman orientation. Students have had their eyes scanned as they receive their ID cards, and they're going to be using this to basically scan people through different classes, making sure you are who you say you are when you come to take a test, and on and on and on. So iris scanning going on at Winthrop University in South Carolina. Print is in the news. Print has failed to pay filing fees for its appeal. It now owes $9,425 in legal fees. Of course, they didn't even pay the $455 for their appeal, so I'm sure someone's going to be waiting a long time to get their cash. The RIAA, moving on here, the RIAA tried to entice Jamie Thomas to make RIAA propaganda films in exchange for a reduced payment. She said, if you'll make some films for us, we'll reduce your money that you're going to have to pay us down to $222,000. Oh, lower than the $222,000 verdict. She's refusing. The 36-year-old mother of 4 and the nation's first file shared to challenge the Recording Industry Association of America lawsuit said she would rather go bankrupt I'm not doing it, the Minnesota woman said in a telephone interview today. So anyway, we don't know where she's going to lead with this, if she's going to be able to declare bankruptcy or not, but she's not going to make propaganda films for the RIAA. Now, I haven't been following this too much, but apparently there's a kid by the name of Justin Carter. He's been in jail for 4 months. And apparently someone overseas saw him make a sarcastic, trash-talking joke on Facebook. They arrested him. They put him in jail for terroristic. What's the actual charge? Terroristic threats, and someone paid his $500,000 bail. Can you believe they had a teenager in Texas in jail for something he said on Facebook and had his bail set $500,000? Come on, Texas, you can do better than that. My goodness. Now, there's more trolls out there. Copyright troll now going after random bloggers who repost photos. So the Copyright Enforcement Group, CEG, one of the earliest copyright trolling operations in the U.S., is really building up its copyright trolling photo business. Last year, they had gone after a number of people that had fan sites, but now they're going after additional bloggers and requesting as much as $500 because they may have posted photos which they found via Google image search. So that's kind of an interesting a move here. As noted by the Cashman Law Firm, the whole practice seems very icky. Yes, technically the law may make the law may have been broken, but does anyone actually think that these users would have otherwise purchased the image and is hitting the ordinary internet user who just wants to illustrate their blog post about red peppers with a federal lawsuit really seem proportionate? And some of these folks don't even own the copyright images, and they're basically buying them up and then going after people post haste. So it's dirty pool. How many of you remember the Inspector Gadget? Dun, 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 dun. If you don't know who Inspector Gadget was, it was a cartoon that when many of us were kids was on television. So the Inspector Gadget tech that ended up becoming real, well, the iPad and some side-by-side comparisons. The watch. Speaking of the watch, we're going to talk about the Pebble here in a few minutes. Cameras, digital cameras, so on and on and on. Some stuff that was on the Inspector Gadget cartoon, that how things predicted before turns to real life. All right, worried about your unlimited data plan disappearing? Sprint says it will not. Sprint is retooling its plans to make them all-inclusive and all-you-can-eat, and it's guaranteeing that they'll remain that way for life. Anyone that says anything's for life, I don't believe them in an instance. It may be just marketing, but it's still surprising. Sprint is spelling this commitment out. And so they're basically raising the prices, but they're guaranteeing unlimited data. So that's kind of cool. But I haven't seen all the plans. Looking forward to looking at the repricing because I have a Sprint MiFi, not a MiFi card, a USB card that I'm considering making a change on and basically canceling it. And, of course, now with all this money, Sprint's getting infused by their new owner, SoftBank. SoftBank's agreed to invest in an initial $5 billion with much more money coming down the road. So with all the spectrum, with 100 megahertz of spectrum that Sprint owns, this is huge. They've got 100 megahertz spot in a 2.5 megahertz range. And that's an incredible amount of spectrum. And basically, it's between Clearwire, Sprint, and their previous holding, who they bought up before was Nextel. So now they're going to be able to build this huge LTE network with a lot of bandwidth. So we'll see where this happens, where this leads to. But now let's do it. It's time. With the bandwidth, with the spectrum they have, they could build an LTE network that could support theoretical download speeds of 168 megs per second, theoretically. The only challenge is at the 2.5 megahertz range, the towers have to be relatively close to one another. But could be, we'll see where this goes. But they could win people back purely on speed, and that's a play that they're going to have to do. All right, Wall Street's not thinking positive about Apple's upcoming earnings every quarter. Oh, the earnings are going to be horrible and the announcement's going to be bad. Are they trying to drive the stock down? And when then Apple makes the announcement, they did better, so buy the stock. And meanwhile, they have basically cashed in. They got a huge cash pile, and they just what is these stock owners want more and more profits and more and want higher dividends. I don't blame them, but my God, the company's profitable. And they got incredible cash reserves. Canada, cord cutting moves north of 16%. Canadians are ditching traditional TV. 16% of Canadians have stopped viewing traditional TV in favor of online video. So that's big. So now the only kicker on this is the survey was commissioned by Google. So it may not be 100% unbiased. Although those of you that have Nintendos, the Wii U speed update delayed to fall. Nintendo placates users with a minor stability fix. If you were looking for that second Wii U speed update, take a seat. Nintendo says it won't be here until fall. According to a statement given to The Verge, Nintendo has pushed it back to the end of this year, promising delivery somewhere between the end of September and beginning of October. Instead, Wii U owners are being offered a smaller patch, bringing the Absolute System menu to version 3.1. So, Wii hasn't been in the news very much. All right, sorry for yawning on you. It's late here. I've had a long day. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And Sly Fox on chat says, T-Mobile really armed their teeth yesterday. It was crazy. Okay, what did they do? What did I miss from T-Mobile, Sly Fox? Please tell me what I missed. I wasn't watching the news at all yesterday. I'm fully engaged in some other stuff. But while he's getting this in chat, Sony Music Unlimited for iOS adds high-quality streams in offline mode. So that's good. Those of you that are fans of Sony Music, that's available. And also, if you've been thinking about a Surface RT, and you know what? I've got that Surface RT here. I can't find the power cord for it. It's somewhere. I got to go dig for the doggone thing. It's sitting on the shelf over there. I can't find the power cord to charge. I may have to order one. Surface RT 32 gig gets price cut to $349 at Staples starting July 14th. So, if you've been holding off and you're looking for one, $349 starting July 14th. If you're looking for that Surface, tells you that it may not be selling super good. Another article from over on Engadget, and this is something I really missed the boat on this, and I think several of you sent me emails. But how many of you got in on the Pebble and were able to order the Pebble during their Kickstarter? Well, I saw Pebble when I was at Ford. Andrew from Gear Live had one on, and Pebble is saying that they've basically got a huge number of orders. And I went and placed my order today and said it'd be something like 2 or 3 months before I'd get it. But they've had 190,000 pre-orders to date, and it's $150. And it was just cool. I looked at Andrew's quite a little bit, and he was getting text messages on it. And, of course, that's what glass is supposed to do as well. But it was slick. So for the first time in many years, I have bought a watch, but it's a Pebble. So if any of you have got one, love to hear your feedback on it. Hey, the writers at Geek News Central has been busy. And KL posted an article about if this, then that comes to the iPhone. I have not seen this app in the past, and I'm really not played. I'm not up to speed on this, and she got my curiosity up, so I'll be downloading it and giving it a try. But if you're an Android user, but those of you that are looking forward to this coming to the iPhone, if this, then that has come to the iPhone. Another article written on Geek News Central. If you're looking for an Android tablet, now's the time. And man, they're a dime a dozen. I was in some place here a couple of weeks ago, and there was like 20 tablets on the shelf. I'm like, which one do you pick? And the guy's like, well, they're all pretty close to the same. And but yeah, there's a lot out there. So a good article. Alan written that on of course, at Geek News Central. So definitely check that out. Another article was Bartenders. It is a Mac application. So it basically, you can't see it in this video because it's too small on the screen right now. But KL wrote about how her menu bar is just full, and using Bartender, and it cleans it up quite a little bit. It scrunches it down, and talks about one of those apps. It does one thing and does it well. So if you've got a very, very busy menu bar, you may want to consider picking up Bartender. And this is just 3 of the great articles that were written up by my team at Geek News Central, putting up fresh content every day. Definitely come over to the website. Make sure you subscribe to the blog as well as the podcast. Stay abreast of everything that's going on. Hey, over on ours, Hearst TV station has filed suit to stop Arrow's Boston expansion. So this is another one. Hearst station, which owns ABC affiliate WCVB-TV, filed an injunction that aims to halt Arrow's rollout in Beantown. So, but anyway, they're not happy about it. But there's another company on a bandwagon to sue Arrow. Hey, DEF CON has asked the feds to take a time out and not come to DEF CON, come to the Black Hat Conference, but they have welcomed the NSA chief. General Keith Alexander, the director of NSA and commander of DoD's U.S. Cyber Command, has been announced as the keynote speaker at the upcoming Black Hat USA Security Conference. But at the same time, they've asked all other feds to stay away. I don't know how they're going to be able to do that, but they don't want the feds there. And I don't know the full status on this. I guess this is all with all the stuff that's going on with what's been in the news lately. All right, NASA's next Mars rover to prep for sample returns and human exploration. So NASA affirmed its addiction to Big Red this week, announcing plans for the next Mars rover, which is scheduled to launch in 2020. The mission plan is conservative in a way, mainly hitting items on Martian to-do list that's been previously neglected due to funding issues. And this new mission will have 3 main goals. First, the rover was specifically outfitted to look for signs of past life in Mars, past life in the rocks of Mars, a job that limits of Curiosity's abilities. And it'll also be collecting rock samples that will hopefully be brought back to Earth by later parcel delivery mission, which is interesting. So anyway, I'll have a link up in the show notes on that. So Sly Fox did reply. He says, T-Mobile, they were really doing a giant campaign against the 2-year plan that the other mobile networks are doing. The CEO of T-Mobile went as far as to start a stop the BS phrase for the new T-Mobile plans, like $100 family plan for 4. Whoa, that's interesting. So, of course, it's from T-Mobile. This big thing now is no contracts. Yeah, as long as you buy the phone. But anyway, long story short, T-Mobile's being aggressive. They have to, and their speeds suck. My wife has got an iPhone on T-Mobile, and the speed is slow. All right, couple last articles here. If you are worried about your password, which you should be online, I've got an article here, how elite security ninjas choose and safeguard their passwords. Link will be up in the show notes on that. Another article is about the Prenda's motion to reduce its $238,000 fine, and that has fallen flat. And the Judge Otis Wright is not giving him any slack, and there's actually a hearing tomorrow. So we'll have some news on that next week. And finally, a price cut. Dedicated hardware in Amazon's cloud now 37 to 80% cheaper. This is dedicated servers that some companies have to have, maybe for FCC or trading rules and that type of stuff. But anyway, some of these can be very expensive. Some of those instances can run from 6.6 cents to $8 an hour. And I know we pre-buy all of our instances on our dedicated servers at Amazon for some of the stuff we have to do for our stat system, just because we know we need the processing power, and it's cheaper to do it that way. You prepay it, and you get a much better deal. So anyway, Amazon's really being aggressive here. Now let's see what we've got in email. I don't know if we had very much stuff come in. over the past couple of days. And, oh, yeah, we had a couple of things. Let me look at the date here. Today is the 11th. The last show was Monday the 8th. And, oh, yeah, quite a bit. Got an email from Paul. He says, all right, fella. First, I'd like to say I'm glad that you had a good 4th of July. I just listened to your latest podcast, and I have to say that your review of Glass, even though I was just listening to it, not watching, was overall very good and balanced one. It did, however, throw up a few questions regarding Glass technology that I'd like to see, that I'd like to raise with you. You referred to anyone 35 and over as being, he says, as regards, basically 35 or as being what? Near? I.e., not very technological minded. Okay, as regards Glass and new technology, you might be surprised I'm 40, yet I have a very big interest in all things tech. And I should. You listen to the show. My eldest son, 16, however, has no clue whatsoever about G Plus or Glass. He would have to wiki them, I believe. And as far as I'm aware, none of his friends do either. He still relies heavily on Facebook and Hotmail. Cringe. I now see Facebook as the Bebo for kids. Google Plus is the new adult social media site. Now, it could be just a UK thing, but I don't think kids are as tech savvy as we'd like to think. On subject of driving while wearing glass, I agree. It should be viewed the same as texting while driving. Bad. My comment about Glassel? He said, yeah, I like it. He said, I wear glasses, so prescription glass would be great, perhaps a clip-on version. I hope so, too. Still on Glass, but finally you'll be glad to hear. The shaded look you talked about sounds cool. A very Men in Black, as you said. However, I don't think that I'd entirely trust a person wearing a dark baseball cap, shades, and looking acting suspiciously. I'd probably ring the police. And one thing you have to do is it's not, it's like wearing glasses, so it's not like you're crouching or, doing weird things. It's on your face. On an article that you mentioned in the show, someone said that they had started using tablets in school somewhere in Scandinavia, which is cool, but the idea has already been used all over the world, mainly in Africa, but also parts of Asia. Personally, I think this technology is the future of education worldwide. Keep up the good work as always. Paul. P.S. I'm British, but I'm certainly no royalties. P.P.S. In the show, you talked about how you've been using Glass and your Google Plus, yet I've seen none of the pictures or videos you said posted to it. Do you perhaps know why not? That's interesting. Paul, I followed you, so P.P.S. Could you please try to leave? Oh, never mind. Yes, I will, Paul. Got an email from Melvin. He says, no doubt Google Glass is breakthrough technology. However, I'm troubled by the fact that Glass users will have little concern for our privacy as they hit the street and take pictures and videos of everything and everyone. I do not like to be photographed, especially without my knowledge. I hate to be out in public and find an image of myself I'm on social networks without my approval. I find this troubling. Makes me not want to be out in public spaces as Google Glass becomes more ubiquitous in the future. There should be some way to notify people when Google Glass is being used, whenever they're present, some kind of red indicator light or something that notifies the public that Google Glass just took your picture and recorded an image. Here's, Melvin, I understand your concern, but let's be very, very straight up. There is in this world today, when you are out on the street, you have anybody can photograph you, videotape you, any which way using a variety of different devices. And there's really, you just don't have any privacy. Now, I'm trying to turn Glass on here. I don't know because I've had it sitting on the shelf here for a day or so. But he goes on and sends me another email. I'm not the only one with issues with dealing with Google Glass. He sent me an NPR link. And let's see if I can. All right, let me put the glass on. Hang on. Oh, I think my battery's dead. Story of my life with this thing. Yeah, I didn't charge it, so it's my fault. But you can see, when it's taking a picture, there is a little light on the glass. You can see. They suggest to suspect there's no indicator light or sound. There's no sound, The Google Glass recording a video or taking a still picture of unsuspecting people. Look at this video, which is a good demonstration of glass. Thing is with glass, it's the fact that most people will hardly notice an action of the glass, whereas taking in regards to photographing, videotaping people without their knowledge. A conventional camera or cell phone is quite obvious when a person lifts up and takes a picture or video with it, not Google Glass. But again, at least here in the United States, you're not guaranteed privacy out in public places. In private businesses and on private property, absolutely. But when you're on public thoroughways and the beach and so forth, there's no guarantee. I got an email here from Near. So I understand Melvin, but believe me, this is not going to be the first device. And again, I don't think people are just going to go around, doing taking pictures of people randomly. Why would you? Near says, "Hey Todd, it's gone. What a pity. It was a great tool." And it talks about Google Latitude to be retired on August 9th. Yes, another thing bites the dust. And I got an email from MS Small Biz talking about the how Microsoft handled the NSA access to encrypted messages. I'll have that link up in the show notes as well. All right, well, that wraps me here. We're going to show you the I'm going to look in chat here. Sly Fox says, and this is in regards to the T-Mobile thing, he tried to convert the AT&T users on Twitter. But whatever it was, fun to watch on my mobile app, LOL. So I guess it didn't go so well. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to roll, after I'm finished, we're going to roll into the glass video that I sent out to all of the insiders. And you guys will get my first look at using glass, and you'll get a laugh with me here and why you have to be careful using glass when driving, especially when you're new and used to it. Now that I've worn for a while, it's not a big deal. It's because it's up and out of the way, and I was still looking up and trying to figure out what was going on, and it wasn't good. But anyway, that'll roll into this. Hey, I want to thank all of you guys for being here for the show. Great show tonight. I hope you enjoyed. And don't forget, hey, take care of my sponsor and pick up a product or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 from GoDaddy on separate orders. And also definitely consider becoming an insider. Every dollar that is contributed basically continues to go to the welfare of right here at Geek News Central, right here at the studio, my family and so forth. And we appreciate it. This is my gig, and my gig is to bring you great content, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will share this show with your friends, family members, people that you know. Tweet about it. If you can't contribute dollars, a Facebook post back or a Twitter post or anything that basically gives a shout out to the show is worth its weight in gold as well. So we appreciate it, or an iTunes review maybe. So definitely consider that way as well. We want to thank you all for being here. Everyone take care. We'll see you next time. Everyone, and all the Ohana out there, take care. Aloha. All right, folks. I'm just got done picking up glass, and I'll be straight up. This is I'm kind of almost flabbergasted to a certain extent, because I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is, and I wish we could have had a camera recording me when I was at the setup session, because I was pretty dumbfounded a couple of times. Now, one thing that I have determined is that this definitely works better with a Chrome phone. There are certain functions that do not work with the iPhone. It's kind of to be expected. So that was not a good driving choice there. Anyway, the whole experience of using this is kind of surreal. I made a phone call, talked to Angelo. They let you have 10 different contacts in your system. You can start a hangout. That's the only thing that was a little quirky. It didn't let me do all the all of my hangout circles. It only showed a certain number, so hopefully that will be resolved. But, here we are. We're in the car. I'm driving down the street, not watching while the video is being played. I'm actually, just talking to you guys. Now, there's a certain level of distraction. I probably shouldn't be doing this while I'm driving. But at the same point, it just kind of shows you the utility of being able to use it. You can take pictures, all kinds of different, quick functions, quick snaps. If you want to do a quick snap or if you want to do a short 10-second video, you can. If you see something going down, right now I'm running the camera in extended mode, and as you can see, we're just driving down the street here while I have my iPhone running and giving me directions on where I should be going. So this guy, okay, I have the right of way. But I think what amazed me the most is the actual the video quality, and actual screen quality. I was really worried about wearing my glasses, being that I need reading glasses, but the screen is far enough out and the text is large enough that it really was not an impact for me having wear glasses. Now, I'm sure if you have a much stronger prescription, it'll probably you'll probably be affected. But here's the skinny of it. They're getting ready to come out with the sunshades that are provided with it. At some point, will also become a prescription. So that you'll be able to wear glass and have prescription sunglasses and still be able to see the video. So I think that's kind of the cool thing about this whole glass, is that it's going to be an experience that's going to develop over time. I haven't enabled any of the apps, and I think there's about a dozen apps right now that can be used, and ultimately, I think what will happen is that, there'll be a wide variety of things that you're going to be able to do. You can do Twitter, Facebook, Google+, all that stuff right now. I would imagine that I will be able to take this video, and I should be able to basically pull it off onto my computer when I get done. The only thing that I did find a little bit lacking so far, and maybe it's just because I haven't got used to it, is that you have it. I'm having a little difficulty hearing through the bone conduction. Of course, it was very noisy in the glass processing area, but they gave me the option to change from charcoal to a different color, and I chose not to do so. I chose to go with the charcoal color, but it's the color choices are nice, and I think for the ladies, there's a variety of options. I think I'm just going to have an absolute blast with glass, to put it from a better term. So I don't know how much you guys can see, but I'm right here in my car that I've rented from Hertz. But and I'm sure maybe you guys will get a little bit seasick with the bobbing of my head and looking around, but it's typical head movement when you're trying to drive. But one thing is for sure is that it's out of the focal length, and I think just like progressive glasses, is that you're going to have to get used to wearing glass and not be to make that easy transition. Right now, the transitions so far is working out for me from looking up, and it's definitely not in my line of sight, and I actually have to look up to actually see it. Now, what I'm actually seeing sitting here right now when I'm looking up in the screen is it doesn't show me the live video that's being recorded. All it says is extend video. So I'm not being distracted by what's being recorded at the same time when I'm driving. So that's I think that's important, that you're not impacted by the
video running at the same time, so you're not getting into the same type of trouble that would happen if you were watching television or something like that while driving. So the screen just says extend video, and it's non-animated. But it was just like a little kid when I was checking things out with Glass in the studio. I was really pretty astonished. The voice commands seem to work very good. Again, there's a limited menu set. It allows you to go back in history. It's stuff that you've done. It actually allows you to kind of flip through things. Taking pictures, obviously, very, very simple. They made it really, really cool. And I can see where this, where Glass is going to make a big difference to folks that are really doing a lot of sports and that type of stuff. It's almost like a GoPro, but definitely mounted directly on your head. But I'm sure I'll have more here in a little bit for you. We'll splice together a couple of segments. I'll show you what come in the Glass box when I get back to the hotel, and we'll put this all together, and we'll have this video available for you soon. Todd Cochran here, providing those of you that are supporting my show a little insider view of Glass. Stop recording.